fight a war in Southeast Asia.
You're going to fight a land war in Asia.
Yeah.
You fool. You've fallen for it. The classic blunder.
No, I got this. I got a fleet of 30. And I'm taking out their naval power right now, angrily. They're fucked, dude. They got no
Oh, so
fucking
you're
game.
telling me it's not a land war,
Oh,
and you lied to me.
in this game, sir, Ethiopia is going to be the British Empire. Okay? I'm gonna
Naval
run
power it is.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Age of Empires. I'm playing the Ethiopians, but I had to start in
And they're going to
Australia.
be the British Empire?
Yeah, because I'm taking their
Yeah,
whole fucking planet.
he's
Oh,
going to do
okay. Yeah. Well, I
colonialism.
mean, obviously, you gotta. That's how the game works, right?
I'm gonna fight the Turks, the Britons. Funny enough, they're gonna get a rude awakening. We're gonna show them a little bit of their own
What
medicine. The Franks, tatters.
what party traits do they get?
What party traits we get? We get the show tell warriors. Show and tell
Haha,
warriors. You ask them to show
that's a
them
good one.
you ask them to show them you ask them like can I see your deck, and they're your dick, and they're like, yeah, I'll do it. I got there. Fuck it, I'm tired. Fuck it, I'm tired, dude.
Are they also playing Jund?
Yeah, they're all funny enough. I make them all play Jund. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I am waiting for the hot take from some like other MTG communist, like, you play Jund, you cannot be on the left, and I'll be like, fuck. Kind of got my ass.
He definitely got your ass.
This is bouge play, not bouge life. Settle down. Do you have that in ultra foil though? That's the real question. Fuck me. All right, so we're 3 minutes. We started late. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Streaming. We got 2 on YouTube. Welcome, YouTube viewers. This is the Sons of Trier live streaming podcast. I'm your host, Dan Cohen, the least popular man in America after Charles Manson. I'm joined tonight by Jank Engels. He's somewhere in the middle of the list. That's a good place to be. And the ever popular Michael Jordan Peterson, who I have to ask you guys to stop sending death threats to, because he is not Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, that's a different one.
He needs you to
Oh
understand.
no, you also get fan mail.
You can continue sending the fan mail. That's fine. We'll continue reading your weird machinations about lobster pee. Is that what I read the other day?
Yeah, he's
Is
really.
that correct?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think the best
fascinating.
part is that I really don't know that much about basketball. So they're like, "Oh yeah, Michael Jordan." I'm like, "Yeah, he was there."
He's one of the basketball fellers I done heard about. Woo!
Yeah, sports.
My God, these motherfuckers are fast. Those double blades they're wielding? Yeah, they are. They got 50 hit points too. They're sturdy boys. Oh boy.
Doherty.
No fucking joke though, dude. Like, these guys are not. They're not. I was expecting them to do this thing like the Mali. I think it's the Malians. The Malians. I don't know how you say that one. That's a weird fucking plural. The Mali, right? We'll just use it like deer, right? They're just Mali. They have their guys are like really cheap to produce. They're like something like 10 food. It's fucking stupid, right? They have like no cost associated with them at all. But the downside is they also they like take a punch slightly better than a villager. And I mean slightly. Like I mean like they don't. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's basically a fucking villager. And they train cheap too. But these guys actually have like 50 hit points, and they have some real ass armor going on. Like they're not like gonna be like, the fucking elephant tough or whatever. They're not built Ford tough or whatever the fuck you want to say, but they're also not like pushovers, which is kind of good because I have to charge. I'm just gonna charge mainland China right now. I should stream this, but I'm afraid my computer's going to crash. Hello, Billy Carter. Michael Jordan Peterson taught me to make my bed every day before I try to assassinate all the landlords in a 10-block radius. That sounds like. Did you do that?
That has to have been him.
Yeah. Did you do that for real?
No comment.
Legally, these are jokes? Question mark.
Legally, that was a threat of violence, and I'm worried now. Yeah, I can't convert buildings though. The one thing downside of Ethiopia is I can't go through and convert all the buildings. which is sad because then that means I have to build a new infrastructure. But like counterpoint, welcome to Fucksville, Ethiopian style. Y'all want to send fucking holy shit! I just turned around and I
What title did you go with?
what title? Oh, I like to pretend this is the People's Liberation Army. I'm coming to liberate these places.
Oh yes, yes, of course, of
Yeah,
course.
especially when I play the Chinese.
Naturally,
Favorite, by the way, sure you're surprised. Favorite race to play, Chinese.
they've got Chinese.
They get the powers of China. All of the powers of China.
Nothing to scoff at. They might win it. They might win after all.
That's what you, goddamn right, dude. All I'm saying is they don't fuck around. PLA comes after these motherfuckers. We're on that shit. We're on that. We're on that shit like Donkey motherfucking Kong.
I guess.
I literally in the past 4 minutes we've been talking, I fielded a 60-man army to go run an invasion, and I have another 30 at home. When I said I was going to run roughshod on these motherfuckers, yeah, I said I was going to run roughshod.
Storm Malians.
Yeah, I'm going to Zerg Storm. Who are these people? These are the Tatters.
It is better than. Okay, well, why is there no Horse Kong?
Why is there no what?
Horse Kong.
Horse
You got
Kong?
Donkey Kong. What? Like the upgrade would have to be Horse Kong, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Like Mustang Kong.
What about Mustang Sally and its what about Mustang Bali and it's a place in Bali?
That is acceptable.
I think
Okay.
you need the intermediary Mule Kong.
Mule Kong. Yeah, Mule Kong. That's good.
Yeah, that'll work. I'll do that one. Mule Kong. What
The
about
artist formerly known as Kong.
what about his what about Bulldong? How about that? I was trying to find a
That's a
relationship.
good one.
I just completely failed. I'm telling you, dude. Conquering the world as Ethiopia is sweet. Dude, these motherfuckers are running everywhere. You should see this son of a. Oh man, I wonder if I can stream it. Hold on. Gonna try something live. What
It
about
is going to fry that computer for sure.
fuck yeah? When the stream goes down in 10 minutes, it's because Dan was trying to stream Age of Motherfucking Empires. You gotta see these motherfuckers. By the way, I play on easy mode because this is supposed to be fun for me. This is not supposed to be like, hard. So don't be like, wow, Dan, you're playing with really baby settings. Yeah, no shit. This is my fun
Sweat.
game. I know what I am. You knew I was a snake
Baby.
before you let me in. Ma'am, why did you try to put a snake in your vagina? Could you tell me why? It's just
Profit?
Profit. Oh, okay.
Was it Liz Warren?
It was.
What about Elizabeth
That's
Warren?
that's the old ancient Chinese secret.
Ancient
In the vagina. Classic trick. It gets them every time.
Classic Tammy.
That's the thing the incels are afraid of. Snake vaginas.
Oh my god.
Oh, you almost got me with that snake in your vagina.
That snake. That's not a snake in her vagina. That snake is her vagina.
Oh, you got a Freudian twist.
What the? I wonder what the hell they're gonna do when I unleash just another 60 people in 5 seconds. Like I just literally got over one attack. What the fuck are you gonna do then, huh? What are you gonna do? I can just do this all day. Goddamn Ethiopia, don't fuck around. Fuck around and find out with Ethiopia. Just like the Italians, actually. They fucked around and found out. Unironically awesome. Unironically awesome that happened to them. You side with fascism, dude. You have it coming. You lost to fucking Ethiopia. Suck a dick. You deserved it. Everybody should have taken a turn beating them. Oh, I guess in World War II, everybody did take a turn at beating Italy, didn't they?
Kinda.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, like, I don't think that's that bold of a riff. I don't think that. I really don't. Yeah, just charge it, dude. Don't think too hard about this. Just charge them in a pack. Yeah, there you go. Just gang up on them. Fuck them. Fuck their horses. Nobody gives a shit. They're like, we got horses. We're more powerful than you. You just fucking charge them. Do not give them a fucking inch. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do to you? You're way too strong. You're fucking Ethiopian tough. You built Ethiopian tough. You fucking do it.
Built Ethiopia. What is Ethiopian tough?
Dude, I
How
don't
tough
know.
is Ethiopian
I'm
tough?
I'm shit talking a bad AI right now. Does it actually have to make any sense? Yeah, charge that guy.
Ah,
Fuck him. I'll tell you what,
I guess not.
with a modicum of organization, as it turns out, 60 dudes on one unit really brings them down fast. These guys do kind of suck at surviving a fight, though. I will not lie. Because you remember how I said I sent 60 warriors? I am down to 14.
You are an excellent general.
Yeah. I am kind of just running suicide attacks right now. But here's the fun fact. Enemy resistance is near 0 because I've killed all of their actual combat units. They are literally trying to rebuild infrastructure long enough to produce like one soldier, so I feel like that isn't entirely unsuccessful. But the amount of food it's going to require to sustain that is getting pricey. Getting fucking pricey. Oh shit. And I really should just figure out the stream on this. 60 dudes on one unit. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. The context of this is I am playing Age of Empires in the background because I'm a complete asshole. And I have chosen to play as the Ethiopians who can field a land army very quickly, but the land army isn't very sturdy is kind of the downside. So like I can send 60 troops on one guy really fast, and as it turns out, you know, even at 1 point of damage, if I send 60 points of damage at you and you send back 10, turns out, yeah, you die. Like you just die. That kills you. Here we go.
Oh,
Motherfucker, who's showing up now? Goddamn French. The goddamn French are interrupting me while I'm fighting the Tatters. Goddamn French. Can you believe that shit?
yeah, that sounds right. That
Yeah,
sounds like the French.
that does sound like the French involving themselves in fucking Southeast Asian affairs. Yeah. Fuck
Name
them.
more than 4 countries that happened to.
You know what the weirdest fight I ever had was? It was about whether the Khmer Rouge was actually communist or not. The for argument is that when they started, they were a communist organization. You know what the against argument is? When
What's that?
when they took power, they became friends with Ronald Reagan.
That feels like a reason against.
That's a pretty good
That's
reason.
fascist.
Yeah. And it's funny. Their original platform was that the means of production should be in the hands of the workers of Cambodia. And when they took power, their platform was we are going to murder every fucking Vietnamese person we can find. Much like a Wahlberg, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I think, if I were to guess, these feel like just a bunch of autocrats who hate the Vietnamese. If I had to guess who the Khmer Rouge really were, like deep down in their heart of hearts, that's my
All
guess.
along.
Yeah, I have this feeling that maybe they weren't really anything but anti-Vietnamese bigots. And like they got really far, right? They got really far on that platform, which is weird. Like how much hating the Vietnamese is a motivator on this planet. It's fucking sickening. It really is fucking sickening. 60 Gs sounds like my kind of party. You need a sturdier unit. You know what? Yeah, Billy does know how to party. Billy wants to party with 60 dudes all at once. Fuck yeah. I don't know. Did you guys get to see Mindful Wellness this week? Did you get to?
I did not. I fell asleep
You
early.
should go
I'm
back
an
and
old
listen
man.
to it. Because
Is it
True
accessible on a normal thing?
Twitter.
Oh,
I
okay.
can
I'll figure it
download
out.
it and try to put it on like our page.
I'll figure it out.
Which I probably should do because that feels like that would
Do that,
benefit
that'd be
everybody.
cool because it Twitter Spaces was shit the pants on me on my phone.
That's the problem I've been having with that bullshit. The code. Funny
It
enough,
they definitely have not been working on Twitter. It's in bad shape.
yeah, I can only do a space for about
I've been
50
getting
minutes.
double posts. I've been getting like posts from left field that don't even belong anywhere near anything. Like
Excellent.
it's not stable.
Gonna say you're right. As it turns out, Elon
I'm
Musk
shocked.
might be bad at what he does.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think he's great at what he does. I think what he does is companies that he touches.
True. To be fair, if you define Elon Musk as a company ruiner, then he is the best company ruiner there is, hands down. People
But
What he
he
expect
does
it.
is.
is sell. He sells. There's no other skill involved but sales.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking bad. It's pretty
You're like
fucking
an expert.
filthy. I hear the rumbling.
No.
I hear the rumbling in the background.
Oh?
Uh-huh. Do you feel it?
The Twitter warriors?
I think somebody's clumbing pretty soon here.
What are you guys doing?
Chilling out. Listening to my commentary on Age of Empires while I refuse to put it on stream.
Yo, what the fuck? Okay. Earlier, when I was taking first break, and I
Hmm.
pushed once all the way back for this. When I was taking first break, I seen some videos of that shit in fucking Tennessee. What's going on up there? Because that looked real bad, man.
It looks real bad because it is real fucking bad, dude.
Man, did they get that motherfucker on camera talking about what a good time he had murdering some motherfucker?
Uh-huh.
That's not good.
No.
That's gonna be expensive for some fucking body.
Yeah, it's fucking
Understatement of the
bad.
year.
And like,
That's not gonna be
frankly,
good. If your job is to protect capital and protect property and shit from damage, that's not going to be good for you. You ain't having a fun night right now.
no. You are busy. That shit, yeah, they're in full riot mode down there, right? Let me say first, with the rioters, all right, for them, what they're doing is a-okay. Um,
Yeah,
frankly, can't go far enough on this one.
yeah.
This is a bad fucking time.
They're hunting for sport in your own fucking neighborhood. I don't know what the fuck you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you should. I'll tell you what, man. The movie Red Dawn. All I'm saying is what they did to the fucking commies for way less.
Way less.
So like when they're like, I can't believe people are riding like this, motherfucker. Your favorite movie is Red Dawn. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it from you. You're just, yeah, you have this coming. You asked for this situation, and then you're like, oh, boo hoo, my cop pussy. Oh, I'm gonna have to go home and beat my wife because I'm so sad about what happened to me.
Seen
Oh,
someone, whenever I was looking at it, I saw a couple people say, "Oh, this be as bad as, uh, a couple summers ago." I don't think so. I think that was a unique convergence of a whole lot of bad shit, right?
yeah. Maybe though, like that, the George Floyd incident sets a precedent for really fucking letting loose, and like, good,
Yeah,
good. They need to know, like, these people need to know these have repercussions. Like, the only thing they could do is redacted. I'm not actually allowed to say how they could fix this problem, and it's not
yeah.
the obvious answer, but it is an answer that would definitely I can't say out loud.
Yeah, we can't say either
Yeah.
thing. But rest assured, listener, it's not the thing it's the second thing. But
Yeah,
we can't say either thing, so you'll have to either know or not.
yeah. You either know what I mean, or that's okay. You don't know. But what they need to do to solve this problem is, and again, that is redacted. I can't say it.
Still definitely redacted.
Yes. That's getting
I
redacted
know.
one way or the other. But there has to be some sort of social consequence to this behavior. It simply won't stop. We know that. So,
Yeah.
how we reach that consequence is, well, we'll see.
Redacted.
It's still redacted. Nothing changed in that regard. But yeah, it's that was some crazy shit. As I understood it, what they pulled that guy over and then did they pull him over or was he just in his neighborhood?
I think it's somebody that gave him the slip, and then when they rounded him up a second time, they were upset about having been,
They
made.
pulled him over.
It was a pullover.
I thought they pulled him over because like they was like so much bigger than him, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm out."
Which is the right answer.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, when they criminalize running away from the cops, the only other option then is just like, what, wear a suicide vest? That's a joke. Like, what are you supposed to do to defend yourself? You know?
Yeah, legally, these are jokes.
Legally, that was a joke.
I thought he was gonna have like a regular ass fun night until I seen that shit. And then in my brain, I was saying, legally these are jokes. Legally these are jokes.
Yeah.
Legally these are jokes.
Suddenly we got to do the mantra because yeah, it's fucking, it's brutal shit. I saw very little footage of that right now because it seems to be like what I think they're going to do on this one. Because outside of Twitter, I've seen very little on that. I haven't heard anything about it. I think we might be getting into one of the media blackout situations. They're like, oh fuck, we can't let this go nuclear.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't they declare a state of emergency?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were ahead of it. They already fired the motherfucker.
They immediately was like, "Fuck this, we are out." No, let's not go down this route.
Yeah.
That's going to save them a few problems, not as many problems as they need it for them to save. For capitalism not to just take a giant hit right in the fucking crotch. And counterpoint, like, I'm kind of okay with capitalism taking a giant hit in the crotch. So yeah, all right, party time. Fuck them.
Just, long as, our standard line, if you.
Why are you so mad? Why are you doing stuff? Stop doing stuff.
Could you stop doing the genocide? No, that's the fucking thing that's beyond the pale, huh? No more genocide? Okay, well, gonna have to learn to live with
They
it.
still haven't closed the camps, and they still owe me money.
Yeah.
I mean, they got so much shit. They got so many tricks that still work, man. Like, we got evaluations at work today, which was, down here, that's 3 managers talk to 1 employee one at a time in a little room,
Ugh.
like a fucking police interrogation. And one of my coworkers, I was saying, well, we're always going to be outnumbered unless we were able to organize or collectively bargain or some type of union or whatever. And then my coworker says, well, unions don't work. So that trick works, right? That like they can really fuck up somebody's brain with that shit. But when you see a video like the video I saw earlier tonight, you can't really equivocate away from that or claim that that's somehow okay or the best we can do or whatever.
Yeah. If that's the best we can do, somebody else should be doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's that fucking simple. Like, I'm sorry, whoever came up with that is being like, that's where we're at. Like, okay, well, fuck it. Then we need to stop being there.
One of my coworkers who saw it also said, seemed like they was mad at that guy. I wonder if there was history between him and the cops. And I'm just sitting there thinking what a fucked up statement that is. Like, I mean, obviously within 24 hours, we'll know everything about that cop and everything about that kid.
Yeah.
And everybody will say that the good things about each individual make them good, and the bad things about each individual make them bad. And just blend the whole thing into a big fucking vanilla paste with no, you just smear the whole thing together into one long, disappointing shit smear. But like, they're not supposed to kill motherfuckers. I didn't think they were supposed to. I mean, we all know that, like, really you're supposed to do a lot of bad, but like on paper, they're not supposed to kill motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It is a last resort option. It is the thing that the cops never actually do. That's when they're supposed to kill motherfuckers. Like Stephen Paddock up in the fucking window at that Vegas fucking that Vegas fucking hotel, right?
Oh,
That's the guy they're supposed to be like, fuck it, dude. Doesn't matter what happens, we got to kill that motherfucker because he's dropping bodies left and right.
would have been convenient if them 5 or 10 or 50 or however many fucking cops gave up on that. Looked like a child. Would have been convenient if them cops were out there in Vegas at the concert that day. But there's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, those storm motherfucking troopers stopping that guy would have been fine. That's
Yeah.
what they're for. Nobody bats it. Everybody is like, you did a good thing. That was real heroic of you that you fucking killed that psychotic fucking mass killer. What don't they bother to do ever? That. What do? They run out a motherfucker. They give him they charge him with being black, which like got him.
mean, your
Got him, I guess.
Just that.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
Wow.
definitely guilty. He's definitely
Have you ever
guilty of
considered-
charge. Yeah.
have
Yeah.
we ever considered having some more black mass shooters?
Ain't a
I'm
lot.
just asking
Ain't that
questions.
You know, I can't think of one off the top of my head.
There was Christopher Dorn.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a little different, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a lot different. Based. Legally, these are jokes.
Legally, these are jokes.
No.
I'm just saying.
Southern Tree Air Mindful Wellness do not endorse the fact that you cannot corner the Dorner. We do not endorse the actions of Chris Dorner.
The hero, Chris Dorner.
No comment.
If we start by making more mass shooters black, they might have a much more visceral police response.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Turns out when they
Give
don't
me-
buy you Burger King
give me
and drive you
200
around places, you
Yeah.
you think
100
twice.
years of heritage for 500, Alex.
Yeah, it's something about
Wait, that means you want me to trust the cops? Nah.
Not gonna happen.
I mean, I trust the cops to have a disproportionate amount of violence towards black men. Yes. Don't you?
That's true. Got me there.
Got your asses.
Got my ass. That is something I
I
can.
love when they call the cops and they get brutalized themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my.
And they're like, wait, you're not supposed to attack me. I'm white.
Which was it? Which group? Which militia group has just totally finally figured it out and turned on the cops and been like they're not on our side and shit? Was
I
it
think
the
it was the Proud
Boys?
Boys.
3%ers.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Because they had the video of that white dude crying about like, you're supposed to, we're for you. We're your friends. Why are you mad at us?
I'm
We
helping.
supported you.
I'm trying to help you. I thought it
I
was
want to see that
okay.
video.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
You gotta send that to me.
Yeah, if I could find it again, like I just ignored it and I was like, yeah, good job, dumbass. You got yourself arrested by hanging out with your
get a
cool
couple
cop friend.
chuckles in.
Yeah.
We'll get a couple laughs. Oh no, poor baby.
He's very sad.
He was really like, dude. No, he was really torn up about that.
He was crying and he wet his little diaper.
He did. That fucking white nationalist piece of shit. And like, you know what though? Like when the and see, there's another thing. When cops take down white supremacists, is anybody on the left like, no, they can't do that. Freedom of speech. Well, Jimmy Dore. Okay, leave him out for a second.
Anybody other than that guy?
Is anybody other than Jimmy Dore like, how could they do that?
Did you see Jimmy? Did you see Jimmy?
Where does Cenk Uygur land?
Did you
Cenk?
see Jimmy
Oh, Cenk's
forget
fine.
to? Other day, Jimmy forgot to switch back to his burner,
Yeah.
and he did you see that shit?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, he fucking biffed that one hard.
So fucking funny, man.
Yeah.
That was the best one of those since the dude that started out as a black guy. That was the best.
Yeah, that white dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. He was white. He was like
Oh yeah.
with the beard and the sunglasses with the American flag tattoo.
That's the whole story because you get to picture him making the burner and being like, "What kind of burner should I make? Maybe a queer, maybe some type of blue-haired woman. No, a black guy."
Worse than the anime profile pictures.
That's the best. As a black guy.
If I do black guy, I definitely got this one in the fucking bag.
all the black guys I know always be starting sentences like that, you know? I mean, I always be walking around going, as a black guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really popular fucking construction. That one makes perfect sense. As a colored. This is how I feel.
Let's say it don't pop off. I heard they got the highway blocked between Tennessee and Arkansas. So that's it's gonna do something. But suppose it all settled down by like tomorrow or whatever. Like, is the lid back on the fucking pressure cooker for reals? Like, as they after.
It's unlikely. We're probably not like this is okay. Left drifters right now are getting horny for like the revolution, right?
Fuck yeah, it.
Yeah, as always. So like, let's take a step back there. That's not going to happen. Don't.
It. They're telling vulnerable motherfuckers with families and responsibilities and shit that now is the time to go out there and get fucking pepper sprayed by a goddamn paramilitary assault force so they can get a bunch of fucking hospital bills and fucking get nothing done. Yeah, I'm sure they're telling them that to get views and clicks and shit.
Oh yes. So like, let's also like just acknowledge the fact that there is going to be those, like general strike now shit, right? Which you're like, oh my god, get the fuck over yourself. That's
right.
not.
I mean, if I thought that was going to go down, all I got to do is think what my coworker said to me earlier tonight. That they don't even think a fucking union works.
Yeah.
So, maybe we should teach people that collective bargaining is the only fucking thing that the, workers could use to wrestle power back from capital. Maybe we should fucking teach people about collective bargaining before we go start telling them, oh, we gotta wait. We're gonna coordinate a global strike. I mean,
yeah,
man.
And then like they point to successful, like, okay, on that topic, they point to successful general strikes, which I agree, a general strike can work. You know how it's not going to start with a bunch of with a bunch of libs on fucking Twitter.
No, it ain't.
It's not going to pop off with libs on Twitter. I don't know why that is like. I don't know why that's the thing. So like, what are we going to see in response? Probably that rhetoric again.
Near as I can tell, all them motherfuckers look like they're on strike right now, and nobody who runs a factory down here is looking for any of them. So
Yeah. Oh no, those people we weren't going to employ are mad at us. It's akin to when
my thing is I just they're gonna go in and start fucking trying to co-opt people's movements. And they're upset about one thing, and then they're like trying to shift it somewhere else, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing, guy?
Seems like the worst thing you could do. Seems like the worst thing you could do now.
You're supposed to just show up and say, hey, what do you need? You need some help?
Yeah.
It would go better.
It just seems like the worst thing you can do now is name your squad some shit. Like when you see your squad start to come together and you start to realize that it's organizing into some type of thing, it seems like the worst fucking shit you could do is name it something. And then, give them motherfuckers something to capture in a little bottle, and tame,
I'm gonna call it
we should just call it fuck you 2023.
But
what's it called? I don't know.
I actually get that. Yeah, I see where you're coming from on that, and yeah, they should just pop off. The French riots in 2005 popped off like that, where they didn't bother with trying to name themselves or be about a thing. And the Yellow Vest riots were like that too. But the problem with the Yellow Vest was those were all basically the bourgeoisie. Like, it's the same as the Canadian the Canadian truckers and the American truckers, when everyone was like, those are real ass workers. Hold the phone. Trucking is a complex occupation. Those aren't necessarily our friends.
Right.
Like, I was kind of split minds on that because I was like, if those are genuinely on our side, then we are not doing our due diligence.
The real problem with the truckers is that they're all right wing.
Well,
yeah, pretty heavily.
Yeah, that's
like
not
when the forming party is on the right, you kind of like steer it right into an iceberg.
Yeah.
I mean, you could maybe get some of them to peel off and join you if you only talked about labor shit and whatnot, but some fucking lib wrecker is going to show up and make up a bunch of new identity groups that don't exist to frighten their stupid redneck asses right back into being fucking right-wingers again.
Well, that's even if you could fucking convince them. With the truckers and shit like that, their problem was essentially that they couldn't operate their, for the truckers and the actual workers, right? They couldn't operate their unnecessary trucking because
Yes.
over the road trucking was absolutely required during the pandemic. So like when they're like, can you believe they stopped trucking? Like, well, you were trucking dildos
Right.
to San Francisco and Austin, Texas. Did we need that service? Was that the thing we needed during the pandemic? Why didn't you redirect your trucking to a field we needed, because then they wouldn't have shut you down? But my freedom. Yeah, okay.
And it's a global phenomenon. I remember during those days, the UK locked up pretty bad too, and there was one guy that was stuck. He was trucking sex toys also, but it was the UK, so they called him rubber arses. Rubber arses.
Yeah. So, like, there's that kind of shit where it's like, in principle, like, we should support workers, and I can't think of a reason to not support workers. The counterpoint is, if you hand me a bunch of the bourgeoisie, what the fuck do I care? Let them fight amongst themselves. You always, rule one, never pick sides in the bourgeoisie pissing match. Never.
Right.
Always make them fight themselves. Always make them fight amongst each other. Always make them fucking fight with themselves. Always let them do it. Just let them go. Whenever you see like the conservatives and the libs like going at each other, good. Wear each other down. Tucker yourselves out. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Don't play into that game where you're like, you got to pick a side to be against Donald Trump and fascism. Bitch, if you're a Stalinist, you're also a fascist. So like, I don't give a shit. Like, I see you the same way I see them. You're two sides of the goddamn same coin. It's just you're more respectful about it. Well, like, where's respectability getting us? Who gives a shit? You two tucker each other out, and I'll move in when one of you's dead. We'll take over the fight then. Fuck it.
Yeah. Do the Wastelands Wanderer move. Just roll through and clean out all the bunkers full of skeletons. Just come through and pick up all the supplies.
Bingo. Don't fucking think too hard about this, Because what do we gain? What do we gain if we help either of that side? If we help the conservatives, all we've done is capitulate. If we help the liberals, all we've done is capitulate. Ooh, what appealing options. Glad you made this worth our time.
What were you guys talking about before I came in here and ruined the fucking mood talking about that foul fucking demonic horse shit? Something good? You guys having a good time? Or
we were asking the question.
Oh,
no. Yeah. Go ahead, Dan.
All right. Do you want me to do the question live? Do you want to know what we talk about before we go on, folks?
I'm hearing like people in the neighborhood just surrounding this factory that I'm standing in front. I'm hearing people just yelling yes, like in the woods and shit.
Weird.
Is that what Doran did? I didn't know he killed the chief's daughter. I thought he got a cop. Leave it to, you know what though? Leave it to a left-wing hero to fuck up their execution. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even Che got caught in Africa. Okay, so this is the game we were playing. We were gaming out a thought experiment. You have two options right now. There's a genie in front of you. The genie gives you two options. You can leave everything as is.
Okay.
All right. And as what I will refer to you as for the purposes of this discussion, I don't think I'm entirely wrong, is a non-standard cis heterosexual male.
Okay. All right.
In that you don't form traditional masculinity, but there's certainly nothing that would be outside the scope of tradition, outside the grander scope of masculinity, right?
Right.
But there's obviously, because we live in this shitty world, there's obviously bigots against you, right?
Yeah.
You got two options. You can, on one hand, leave the world as is. Nothing at all changes. Nothing fundamentally changes. Now, the other one is different. All the premises to the world, all the ideas in the world, everything, all of human history gets retconned by eliminating the possibility of bigots and getting them replaced with the default attitude, yeah, I guess that's a thing. I just don't know much about it, so I'm just not going to bother. Do you take that?
I mean, it seems like you end up with better circumstances in your own life, and maybe some other individuals end up with better circumstances in their lives. But if that's the only thing that's been adjusted and income inequality still exists,
No, no,
then
no. All of the premises, remember, as a result of picking the change the world option, all of the premises also shift.
so you're saying nobody hates the poor no more either.
Well, if you identify as poor, you can wish that there's no more classist hate against the poor. That's now a thing of the past with a magic wand, and it's, yeah, I just don't know much about being poor. That's not a thing I'm going to fuck with. I was going to get out of the way there. Do you take it?
I mean, it's a tough one because you're raising the question of whether or not discourse has value to advance towards some kind of. You're raising the question of whether.
I'm getting rid of the bigots.
That is a hard shift into that category. I like it.
Yeah. That's my kind of a default answer too, because you know what it is if you have
why? Because they're bigots.
Yeah. If you have to have a bad opinion, if you can't have they're humans too, right? If that's not on the table, non-involvement in my mind is superior to involvement, because what's the only involvement they can have, right? The only involvement they can have.
I just don't know about the bigots. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, of course, but like
you wouldn't know what you're missing.
We're we're relying on there to still be like some type of animating force towards social change, also, right? Like,
bro, after 45, I would love to just hit rewind.
Now, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yeah, no, you just press button.
You mean we get to erase Hitler too? Yeah.
Yep. Gone. I mean, like his attitude about the Jews changes from what we have.
Is this the shoot Hitler out the car window of the time travel machine? The drive-by on Hitler?
It almost is. It's not quite. It almost is, though.
They did that in Futurama.
Yes, they did, and it was awesome. Oh my god. I'm about to move 80 fucking soldiers into North America, which in Age of Empires is huge. And they're all Ethiopian, baby. I get a fleet of 18 attacking the shore. Oh, yeah. Change my pitch up, smack my bitch up. We're going to have the right kind of colonialism right now, let me tell you.
God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, motherfucker.
I just want you to know I have cleansed Europe of all non-Ethiopians. I have conquered all of Europe, all of Africa, all of Asia, all of Australia, and I got my sights set on North America now.
Now this sounds like the counterfactual. This sounds like the counterfactual that I want. Can this be the third answer to the question?
I might be a white man, but I could deal with a lot more anti-white racism. Can we just knock it up?
Did you just say the third answer is to move 80 troops from Ethiopia?
Yeah. 80 troops. Option 2, no doubt. Why wouldn't I? Yeah, see, that's what I said. Like, just like knee jerk without a doubt. Because like Jake was like, is there a trick to this question? Like, what's the? That was his original, kind of like Dan's up to something.
I felt like there was, but I don't think there is.
There isn't. I just mean like, well, yeah, okay. Here's kind of the plot, right? Because people will be like, no, you gotta.
The plot is to catch people like saying, "Oh, whoa! Let's think about the good of the bigots because they do that."
Let's think about what bigotry brings to the
like,
table.
Whoa! I had a phase.
I took a crack at Devil's Advocate for about 30 seconds, but I didn't find shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Jake was, like, really worried I was walking into a trap, and he's like, because I'm known to do that, right? Let's be real. I'm a dick.
You're a thought experiment.
Yeah.
What's the catch?
What's the catch with the Dan thought experiment? You never know what's going to happen next, right? That's how we learn. But, it's just straight up, like, if you could do it. And the point of the exercise is, like, is there a value to bigotry? Would you keep it the way things are? No, you wouldn't. You just knee-jerk get rid of it. It has no value on its own.
Yeah.
Just that's it. That's it.
Unless you sell racist bumper stickers or whatever, and then in which case, fuck you anyway.
Bingo. That's the guy who's like, now hold on a minute.
Well, the reason they sell what racist bumper stickers is because they are.
They are racists.
Yeah.
No one tells them to create a shop with 200 types of memorabilia in it.
You could try to fake it just for money, even if you weren't racist. But the genuinely racist dude is always going to come up with a better selling bumper sticker than you, and just drive you out the market anyway. So
they're over there trying to compete with the Jim Crow Museum for having the most racist paraphernalia.
Fuck. God
damn it!
That's brutal and true.
11 o'clock. That son of a bitch that drops off on Fridays was semi on time last night. I'm gonna go back in here. I'm gonna go back in this motherfucker.
We're gonna miss you. By the way, if you haven't listened to it, the Mindful Wellness with Chris Wade, it's worth it.
Oh yeah, that was good. Old Christopher Gadsden. Old Christopher Gadsden interviewing motherfuckers so hard their goddamn eyes roll back into their head.
We're here. Do I have to pretend you're not him?
Old Christopher Gadsden interviewing
Okay.
motherfuckers. Old Christopher Gadsden over there on Mindful Wellness on Wednesday nights. Old Christopher Gadsden interviewing motherfucker make their toes curl up and shit.
Yeah. You are.
Whatever
I
that
will say
means.
this. Like, okay, first off, I can't do it. I'm not gonna pretend. It gets
I heard he's a bad motherfucker.
Second off, you really do interviews well. I do not interview people very well at all. That is not like something I'm at all talented at.
Well, you gotta. I know a bunch of dork shit, and
I mean,
so when somebody's doing some dork shit, when they come out with their hot new project and they're like, "This is the dorkiest shit anybody ever came out," I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Did you motherfuckers just hear that I no longer do dork shit?
Oh no, not at all. Simply that we mentioned Wednesday.
I think what he's saying is that he has a wide and extensive library of dork shit stored within his brain.
Compared to my excruciatingly narrow realm of dork shit.
So that's
no. He's not diminishing your dorkness. He's saying he also has. If in case you do have, then yes, you would both have.
Why don't we just booster our boy though, and just Dan, you suck at dork shit. That's okay.
I don't know. I think I gotta go with True on this. He's over here slinging 80s sci-fi like it's nothing.
No, shit could go real wild over there. I don't fucking know. We probably do a regular one next Wednesday. But you never know. There might be somebody else out there want to get the sloppy, toppiest, dick suckingest interview they ever got before from old Christopher Gadsden. Might be more people out there that are sick of getting interviews where everybody tries to act cool. Everybody tries to keep an ironic distance from how much fun we're having out here in Dorkland. There might be more people out there that want, instead of that bullshit, instead of that I'm above it, fake fucking cool bullshit, maybe there's more motherfuckers out there that instead want to get the Christopher Gadsden motherfucking interview.
That's true.
Maybe there is. I don't know. We'll see. But we won't see nothing until Wednesday because I'm fucking beneath the waves of all these fucking hours and all this bullshit until then.
You are getting your soul crushed right now, and it is very sad.
Fucking God. It is fucking flat as fuck.
How has it been at the Forest Defender factory?
I mean, they're running skeleton crews anyway. And you can go in there and you can just beat the shit out of it as hard as you want or as just be slack as you want. And they're all just a bunch of fucking dipshit pencil pushers, so they don't know the fucking difference anyway. Like, I had a guy tell me that he thought that some shit was wrong, like, that I did. And I was like, oh, no, that's, we issued that. That was about 6 hours ago. I pulled that pallet down and, I opened all those boxes, labeled all that shit, shot all that shit, and, drove it over there to fucking production and, broke it up and took it to each station on the line and, in about 45 minutes, for that volume. And he goes, oh, I thought this was a mistake. And then I said, real quick, oh, let me see that. Oh yeah, it took longer than that, man. My bad. I don't know. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with that. I immediately reflexively hid the fact that no, we did that shit. Me and
Yeah.
one or two other guys. I reflexively hid the fact that we did that shit because if he don't know, then good.
Yeah. Fuck
And
them.
yeah, anybody listening got a job like mine, you can take that to the fucking bank. I promise you, they don't know shit.
They don't know how to do your job.
Good.
That's the whole point.
I have a friend who calls that getting caught doing the right thing.
Oh, we have the same
Like,
friend.
what are you doing over here at my job? Oh, and then they walk away.
Yeah. But it is my pleasure as always, fellas.
Absolutely, my brother in Christ.
I'll see y'all next Wednesday if we get time, or some other night if we got to do it a different night, and then I'll see y'all Friday if we get time. I'll be seeing y'all.
I'll be seeing ya.
That
I'll
is
be
a
buddy.
True.
that is a threat. I'll be seeing
Peace
y'all.
All right, peace out. Okay, so I promised with that wonderful name, customer Plurvis, customer service. There we go. Language is failing me, and that's never good. I'm gonna blame it on a sore throat. It has nothing to do with it.
What you been doing with that mouth?
Make the music with your mouth, girl. So what brought me to that pun, right? That's an excellent question. Yeah, Chris is hammered at work. It's fucking brutal. So what brings you to the question of customer service, right? When you work in a job such as mine, which is fundamentally different than True's job, you work at a job that is functionally like a bureaucracy, right? I'm an office drone all day. The most I'll say about myself is specifically I supervise the other drones. So I am a drone who is supervised, and then I supervise the other drones, make sure the work gets done, the fridge isn't on fire, or whatever the fuck I have to do that day. Okay? I wish I could talk more about it sometimes because it's so painfully banal that you would not believe, but I can't, right? But I am a government bureaucrat drone. And when you have government bureaucrat drone training, the form of that tends to be the large meeting because we have not given up the meeting technology. That is how we do everything. It's all classes and meetings. They love classes and meetings. All right. And very specifically, sometimes what you encounter is a situation where perhaps the material does not reflect reality. And I'm not talking about the laws are out of whack. I'm not talking about it being actually part of a secret oppressive paradigm or some bullshit. I mean, I'm talking about banal stuff here. One of the things you come across sometimes is a book called Gandhi the CEO. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that.
I am not.
It is a terrible
Go
book
on.
written by an absolute, utter capital fiend. Fiend with a capital
Okay.
F.
Gandhi was already a real winner to be writing about, so it
Yeah,
goes uphill from there.
it's low hanging fruit. You're not a fan of Gandhi.
I mean, I'm not. Which Gandhi? The real one or the hypothetical one? Because I'm obviously a fan of the hypothetical one.
The one that they show is the big warrior against oppression, right? By just
Yeah.
not eating the
That
fellow building.
yeah, that guy hypothetically makes sense in my head as a person that you would want to emulate.
Yeah.
The one who slept naked with underage women, getting weirder.
Yeah, so you Gandhi the ideal, whatever, great, but Gandhi the actual man, probably an asshole at least.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, never meet your heroes, and I won't take that.
Fair enough.
Does that make sense? Is that reasonable?
It does make sense. Well, one of the fun facts, of course, about capitalism is it was just Martin Luther King Day. So, like, when I say this, it's going to click in your head and be like, Oh fuck yeah, they do that. Capitalism loves a type of whitewashing where they take a figure who is outside of the capitalist paradigm, rinse and repeat them through a cycle enough that they become palatable to the capitalist paradigm. Right? That's why Martin Luther King pictures have progressively gotten whiter over the years. This was pointed out to me watching another podcast, right? They were pointing out. Couple, I can't remember which one now, but Martin Luther King is whitened, right? Gandhi is made out to be more and more nonviolent and more sanctified. Mother Teresa, for example, right? Mother
Teresa. All the pictures and all the photos all the time are whitened.
Well, when they're supposed to be positive and in concordance with pushing of capitalism. Gandhi was also racist towards Africans. I fucking thought that was the case. I thought he was like really shitty to Africans. Thank you. I was like, why do I remember him being super shitty to Africans? Because he was. That's why. Thank you. Which, not a good look. Gonna say it. Gonna take the bold stance. Probably shouldn't be racist. I know. It's wild. 2023, going hardcore. Anywho, one of the things they do to whiten Gandhi is turn him into a supporter of the CEOs. So let me find the exact fake quote. This is wonderful, right? Fake.
I love me a good fake quote.
Well, these are stellar, right?
These are real fake quotes, you say.
These are real fake quotes. These are quotes that are attributed to Gandhi and are more often than not completely fucking fake. And by more often than not, I mean they've either twisted his words completely or attributed somebody else's words
to him.
So this is the quote.
Save me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope, as said by
Gandalf.
Darth Vader.
Yes. It's said by Gandalf.
Yes, got it.
So the quote is a customer is the most important visitor on our premises. That is actually really funny. Yeah, hold on real quick. In India, the CEOs of the Brahmin caste are supposed to read Mein Kampf to show you how to run an organization. That explains a lot about the current state of India. But the quote is, again, a customer is the most important visitor on our premises. Process that for a second. Process the conditions of occupied by the British India. Process it. Just drink that one in. Does that sound like something Gandhi would fucking say?
Yeah, that sounds right. Why not?
Yeah, does it? Does it really? Do you know what
it sounds exactly wrong in every single condition, but yeah, sounds totally right.
Imagine if I just posted a picture of Gandhi on Twitter and said, guys, the British really need that tea. Hurry up. Right? Does that seem like
Gandhi,
something?
Get that British tea for $4.99.95.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not start posting him as Apu? Like, put him in the jacket and everything. If you're just gonna fucking completely fucking morph him, right, away from what he is.
Can we make a dating sim visual novel where it's convenience store Gandhi?
Yeah, why not? Why not? According
Clone High?
Yeah, Clone High, yeah. No, Clone High, he had ADHD and he was nervous about public speaking. And he wanted to fit in with a cool kid.
Why?
Because in Clone High, everybody was a parody of themselves. So each of the clones was intrinsically not what the person was. Now, like, of course, then this is the
idealized version.
Yeah, this is a parody of the romanticized Gandhi, right? Not the man who did some shady shit. But my point here is that capitalism is such a consuming force. It feels like it can, and it often does get away with presenting that as a legitimate Gandhi quote. Now, it caused a little bit of a kerfluffle in our office because, of course, like I've already, like, spoiler alert, I didn't take the most recent round of this training because I've already been certified in the course, right? I'm certified customer service ready, okay? But one of my friends had to take the course, and the first thing they fired off to me was in a like electronic side chat was that Gandhi quote cannot be real. And I immediately just whipped out the fact checking. So he was so moved, he was like, "You need to fact check that Gandhi quote. He did not say that." And they were like, "Oh, that's interesting," and moved on. And I was like, right there, I lived it. The goal was to whitewash Gandhi into being this capitalist icon, right? The goal. I saw it live. Oh yeah, we'll get right on that. Um, they ain't getting on that. That would
They don't
require them.
care.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that quote is real, but it's most likely a VP from the Studebaker Car Company who said that, which makes sense, right? Whether or not I buy all that bullshit is irrelevant. Does the speaker make sense? Yeah, I feel like that person probably said it, or said a variant thereof enough that you could extrapolate it to that, right? Because it's something he would be fucking worried about selling cars.
That sounds like a thing that someone worried about selling cards would say.
It does seem in their wheelhouse, doesn't it?
Just a little.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something they would like not say.
People who are selling crack.
Yeah, people who are selling crack might say that. It would like if they were like Tyrone the crack dealer from Chappelle's show. Okay, I would believe that he said that quote. This one is egregious, like in a lot of ways, right? This one's egregious, but what it is, I see Amy Therese blowing up in the Twitter chat. Interesting. I'll get on that one soon. What it is in our society, right? Everybody's so focused on the end consumer, and there's this kind of shuffle game going on because the consumer of last demand, in an actual geopolitical sense, is always the government. You don't have to worry about providing customer service to the government. It's an amorphous organization that orders in bulk. So they can't mean that, right? They can't mean that when they talk about customers. They also can't mean the masses, can they? Because to some degree, there's some shenanigans you can pull with companies, but by and large, you're kind of stuck with whatever you get, right? And you're stuck largely at the wheel of whoever's behind the sale, whoever's behind the customer service call, whoever's bringing you the food, whoever cooked the food, and so on. You're bound to their labor. And in that regard, you're probably a class peer. So not only does it feel bad to attack those people, but you probably don't have the power to be very effective, do you? If you wanted to attack them. And likewise, their appeasement of you is only going to go so far as they can empathize you because they have no need to appease you. Again, you're a class peer. In a world where we don't have class consciousness and unity and we don't watch each other's backs, we don't tip super nice. And we don't treat the customer who we can clearly delineate is in our class super nice because we're trying to mutually benefit from that arrangement because on the basis of our class identity, right? We don't do that.
As a ploy to pay people less anyway.
What's that? Customer service?
No, tips.
Tipping.
Tipping is a ploy, but like we don't do that right now to power those people up so that they have money to spend on leftist projects. It's not something we do, right? Because we don't have the money ourselves. We're in the same class as them. We don't have the money to do that. Now I understand, I get what you're saying, right? Of course, tipping is a fucking capitalist ploy to underpay people. But the point here is that we don't look at those waiters and do that because we just don't have the fucking raw cash to do it. We can be nice to them. We can try to make their job easier in marginal ways, but at the end of the day, that's only okay in the workplace. They can't take that shit home. That customer who was clearly a fellow proletariat was super nice to me doesn't actually pay $1,200 rents, does it?
Yeah.
That's the cold reality of it. We just don't have the cash to pay for that, right? So they are not the customer you're talking about. So who in the hell would be so important that you have to bend over backwards and kiss their ass to make sure everything goes through smoothly when you're in a sale? It's the economic consumer of first and last demand. It's the bourgeoisie. the phenomena of the Karen, right? The angry customer, the angry white woman as consumer on the phone demanding you do this for her, demanding a customer service relationship, a purely transactional relationship in a public setting where it is inappropriate to have a consumer relationship.
In those rich people daycares.
What's that?
Have you ever seen the tech sector set areas that are like rich people? They're like rich people, venture capitalists, basically daycares.
That's a new one. Haven't
It's
seen it.
like tech space. It gives them hobbies.
That's incredible. I believe I have theorized something like that would happen, but I have never seen. Thank you.
I've seen it. It's real.
But my
They're
point,
like all like venture capitalists, and they get to parade around like, "Oh, I'm doing my new big project."
and they're basically just doing macaroni art for adults.
Yeah, basically macaroni art. Yeah, it's basically a retirement home.
That's phenomenal. They're literally giving them a busy box. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. But here's my point, right? The way the Karen behaves, the actual thing that delineates a Karen or, for the male version, a Ken, right? It is the expectation of a customer service relationship in a social context where that is not an appropriate negotiation. It is purely social and it's incredibly hostile. Because in every other sector of that person's life, they are trained to expect things on demand. They are trained by society to be rewarded for that demanding behavior of their social lessers. So when they walk out in public and see you as their social lesser and become displeased, their brain does not jump to, I need to talk to this person, I need to explain why I'm upset and see if we can come to a resolution, right? Because the thing that they're mad about may not be rational and they're aware of that. But they've never been taught, they've never been told that rationality is one of the critical things they are required to exhibit. A customer has no need to be rational. That's not the mantra, is it? That's not the advertising mantra. That's not their philosophy. Their philosophy is the customer is always right. Intrinsically, prima facie, by the virtue of existing, the customer is correct. How dare you question it? That their existence is not correct. How dare you question that? They
So in
take it.
that sense, everybody gets to be Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody gets to be Jesus, but everybody gets
No,
to serve at the pleasure of the bourgeois. Everybody gets their opportunity to serve the bourgeois. And everybody owes the bourgeois for the bourgeois gracing them with their presence and their money. Right? That's why Karen's mad, because you're not doing what she wants. Because in her mind, she has bought and sold you. You were negotiated with. The way she sees the relationship, this is the really critical part. She's negotiated with your social betters, your masters, your owners. So she doesn't have to tolerate the behaviors you are exhibiting that she finds unacceptable. She shouldn't have to tolerate that, right? Why should she? She's the customer of society. Society's for her, and she's always right. The Madman advertising department has fucked up entire generations of human beings. That kind of fucking 1960s mentality, appease first and ask questions later, especially when they're wealthy. They get what they want. Any resistance, as we've seen, no matter how fucking pathetic the resistance is, and I don't mean pathetic in that they shouldn't be doing it or the way they did it, but I mean by class power. These are people who are very deeply their social inferiors. So to them, this pathetic resistance showing them hostility, and the hostility they're showing is, I don't have to comply to that right now. I'm not at work, bitch. I don't have to care. I'm doing what I want to do. This is my leisure time. That is an offensive act. So the joke, right? The joke of customer Slurvice is just ultimately a funny pun. But the reason I think that pun is so funny is because, of course, we're talking about the word Karen, which they would argue is a slur. And I'm going to say two things, right? I think that's right. I think it is a slur, and I think they earned it. Well, I think if that's how you're going to act, you're going to get a name for it. There's a descriptor of the behavior because you're acting abnormally. The only other word that is really appropriate is schizophrenic. You're a delusional. You find yourself in a real situation, and you are deluding yourself into thinking you are in a completely opposite situation. That's not where you're at right now, honey. You're not there. This is like your Vietnam. This is your PTSD. So we give them the term Karen because social schizophrenic has a much deeper connotation, but that's what they are exhibiting. And they have been, I will further argue, they have been driven to an actual social schizophrenia, a schizophrenic state, a permanent psychosis and schizophrenic state precisely because of the way capitalism has taught them to think about themselves. When they fathom themselves as somebody who must be appeased, who must be spoiled, who must be catered to, and who has the inherent right to degrade any human being before them.
If they fail to meet these unreasonable demands.
And correct. If they fail to meet these unreasonable psychotic demands, and I say psychotic in the actual break from reality sense, not as a casual slur. I mean, they really are breaking from reality because they're forgetting where they are, right? Kind of like, if not schizophrenia, certainly dementia. You've lost the fucking plot, man. But that's where that kind of came from, right? That's where I extracted that joke from. That's the comedy in it. And to combat that, you can't combat that through reform. Because reform still keeps the base nature of the relationship, the class relationship, wherein the bourgeoisie favors the consumer because the consumer is money coming in, and the labor is to be stolen and then paid the pittance that it is legally required, right? They're always going to pick the consumer over labor. They have to, by their own class views. The consumer could be them. The labor will never be them. They can't empathize. So reform can't handle it. There is no social niceness movement that's going to handle it. It doesn't matter how socially nice these people are because they are suffering from legitimate schizophrenic episodes. Schizophrenia is not cured by niceness, especially not when it is being caught essentially as a virus, or worse, being taught. I'm sure you're going to be surprised where I end this on, but the solution is to overhaul and eliminate the system that manufactures the abuse of Karen in public, that manufactures the schizophrenic condition in individuals that causes them to behave this way. We don't know who those people would be. You know, when we bring it back around to the bigots, would you choose the default stance of neutral, or would you choose the default stance of bigoted? Well, you'd change their personalities. You would. You'd completely rewrite who they are. You'd rewrite the whole of material relations. The whole of existence would change. It would have to accommodate that because, as we all know, the default in capitalism is that bigotry. They are trained to be Karens. The first Karens we ever had were the colonists. George Washington is the Huber Karen. The expectation of something, right? That's slavery.
The alpha and omega.
The alpha and the omega. But the arrangement of slavery is the exact same way. It is an extension of slavery. They forget where they are. They are not on the family plantation anymore. They are in public, walking their awful fucking poorly cared for dogs, screaming at their fucking neighbors about the lawn being 2.75 inches. Kind of hyper nostalgic poisoning producing a social schizophrenic or dementia state. And there's no way within the system to stop that because the system is designed precisely to produce that. It was designed to produce worse. We have, by hook or by crook, reeled back some of it, but without eliminating the system, it's never going to go away. The Karen is here to stay. That's true for all the other customers who are fucking monstrous. You're bigots, thieves, assaulters, sexual harassers, foodies, right? The critic.
Well, that wasn't my line, but sure.
Did you say the foodies or the fruities? Because if you said the fruities, that's not fair.
I said the spoonies.
The spoonies. Yeah, Coffee Spoonie, right? Coffee Spoonie, the world is for her. Why doesn't the world conform, right? We have left Karens. I don't think Spoonie has ill intent. But yeah. I thought you were making a joke about the foodies being poor customers, and I agree they are. Fucking arrogant people. Settle the fuck down. It's a cut of beef. Eat it. Settle the fuck down. That you inflict your miserable alienation on the rest of us is fucking alienating to the rest of us. But yeah, Coffee Spoonie is an excellent example of a Karen who does not have malice, who is malicious by how do I put it this? The malice is not in the intent. It's not, the malice isn't in the intent, the malice is in the execution. She can't convey the left critique without being malicious, but she has within her a left critique. It's not my left critique, obviously. I'm not the biggest fan of her liberal understanding of the world. But the point is, she does not have a conservative technique, but her critique, but her execution is wholly conservative and would fit very well on the plantation, in the Russian farm, if one were. That's been my musing for tonight. That's what I've been thinking about this week, especially after that training. It just kind of all sucked up together, and that's what I've been mulling over. We live in the legacy of the antebellum South not being properly destroyed. We live with that every day, and without just completely uprooting the entirety of the system, I don't have a way out. I don't have a plan, and we don't have an organization that is capable of doing so, that is capable of pushing those pressure points and levers of power to eliminate, jokingly speaking, eliminate all the Karens, right? We don't have it. It's kind of a bleak ending note. So with that,
it's always revolution from you.
It is always revolution. I'm sorry, I'm nothing if but consistent. You don't come here because you have something better to do on a Friday night. I'm gonna give you the same answer every Friday. So we gotta revolt. And then the means of which by we should revolt is changing. That's how I'm handling it. But I'm becoming more of an any front, all front, but first we need to at least organize a bake sale person. I totally agree. General strike now, the whole thing. Counterpoint. Can any of you even fire off a bake sale, let alone a general strike? Maybe we should practice this.
Yeah, I would be impressed.
Yeah, I would be impressed. I would honestly be impressed with a socialist bake sale, because I'd be like, shit, they got together and did it. The what is it? The Pittsburgh chapter of the Democratic Socialists. They got that campaign going to fix people's fucking cars for free to help avoid tickets for workers. That won a lot of people over, and I was like, God damn, they did it. They goddamn did it, son. Good on them. I haven't heard of them doing it since. It's been years. That's the kind of thing they should keep doing, and then while they're there, you have people, you present, you talk to them about it. Be upfront. We'll fix your car, but you got to hear our sales pitch. The Bolsheviks did shit like that all the time. I don't know why that's fucking offensive. Mao did it.
Well, that might have a real, genuine effect on your life.
What's that?
Can't have that. It might actually work.
Yeah. God forbid. We're all full of ideas, and none of us can get a fucking bake sale fired off. None of us can be successful, despite all our brilliant ideas. It's very depressing at times, very bleak. So that's the rant for tonight. That's the theory work. There you go. There's your little theory nugget, right? Something to chew on. I will say one last thing, right? A lot of people will be like, you need to read this book, you need to read that book, you need to read Marx, you need to read Nietzsche. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of that shit that you can get through conversation. Keep in mind, Marx was an observer and Nietzsche was a romantic poet. So it's not the material is not as dense as it initially appears. Even Heidegger can be reduced down with the fucking cliff notes. Okay? Like right now, I'll do Schopenhauer. Schopenhauer was a person who believed human life was meaningless. So fuck him. Right there. And if you want further proof that I'm right, you know who Hitler's favorite philosopher was, right? It was fucking Schopenhauer. That's who he loves. So fuck him. That's all you need to know. He keeps bad company and he fucking sucks. Here, I'll give you another Schopenhauer hot take real quick. Women are things. I think he said those 3 words too. I think he wrote those down even. You know, they translated from German obviously, so it's like 14 words, but you know, you translate them down. Women are things. Who gives a shit? You know, fuck Schopenhauer. Fuck him. Don't need him. You don't worry too much about that. The reason we do what we do is because, there again, you got 15 minutes of theory to chew on and mull over, right? You want to learn the high conceptual steps? Sure, I can do that. We can all do that, but let's keep it simple. Let's keep it easy. Why does it have to be hard? It's not supposed to be hard. It's for normal people. We got to remove it from the academics' understanding. There's the other thing, right? We got to pull it back from academia. We can't let it become a museum piece. The more socialism becomes a museum piece, the more we lose the possibility thereof. Of any kind of socialism.
Look, as always, a true mastery and understanding of a topic is when you can explain it in such a manner that even a child could understand it.
When it's for the normies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I suppose with that, there's the dense shit. You guys want to riff for like 5 minutes going on a nice high note, joke-wise?
Ooh.
I was kicking around a bit where a guy. Okay, so the bit I haven't written it yet. I think I will write it, but now that I'm gonna spoil the ending, I don't know if I want to. But I don't give a shit. Like I said, we'll kill for 5. I'm gonna go on something funny. This is how my brain thinks, right? I was like this morning. I was like listening to one of those fucking murder shows on YouTube because it popped up while I was taking a piss. Shit, I mean shit. I was shitting. Pre-work, I was shitting. I hate admitting that's my neurosis, right? I can't admit to ever using number 2, but. They were like, they have that fucking wispy voice, and they're fucking talking about the people he would kill, you know what I mean, throughout the story, and then they start setting up those individuals. Now they interact with this person, kill, blah blah blah. I was like, what would be amazing is to do one of those narrations, but every time it's like, it's like the Dead Zone almost, you know what I mean? Like it kind of had me thinking about the Dead Zone then, and so it's just like, Janie, age 7, her parents will leave her unguarded by a pool. She'll fall in 3 days from now. And then he walks up to another person's like, hey, fuck you, buddy, and he slaps him. But when he slaps him, he's like, Bill Mitchell's 42, going to be murdered by a male prostitute 3 days from now. And then his wife's like, yeah, up yours, you fucking piece of shit, right? And she slaps him too, right? And then he's like, Carol Mitchell's 41. She will be killed by the same male prostitute 10 days later after they run off and go to the Caribbean. And there's just a random dude from the Caribbean, and he slaps him. He's like, hey, fuck you, man, you taking up the street. And they're like, there's like Jamal Owens, 26, will be killed by the same male prostitute as Carol and Bill Mitchell. And then, because he's blocking a doorway or whatever, you know what I mean? So people keep trying to shove him and push him and josh him. And every time, it's just that same male prostitute who kills them over a time span. I don't really like true crime shows. I'll be honest. People are fucking horrible. I don't like gunshot dramas, and I don't like. I don't like them. But I really thought it was funny the idea of just somebody blocking a. He gets bumped by a little kid who's like, "Sorry, Mister," and he sees her death, and she's gonna drown in a pool. And it's really sad. But then because he's having the zoned out flashback, he keeps getting jostled by people in the doorway, and they're all just gonna get murdered by the same male prostitute. Increasing time spans. And they all just happen to be going through this New York. But I mean, it's excessively long, you know what I mean? So it's a list of 50 people. It just drones on and on and on from the TV. I don't know. I think that kind of shit's funny. You know what I It's like this guy is just hunting at that hotel at that day, and he's like, that guy's like tracking all the people he's gonna murder. And then he bumps into the male prostitute, and it's him, and it's like, I'll be killed by that male prostitute in 10 years when I figure out who he is. And the guy's like, hi, you want to hook up? You know what I mean? Like that's
Cheap
how it
hookups.
is. Yeah. I'm the male prostitute you hired from Cheek Hookups. You know, that's the kind of shit I find really funny. But now I'm like, I can't write it now, can I? I gotta wait at least 5 years before I write it because you guys all heard it.
Yeah. Well, plus, I don't know. That's
What?
there's a definite market for that kind of humor.
I don't know. I think this crowd would like it. There's only one murder episode. The rest are true crimes that don't involve murder. Okay, I'll try. They're funny crimes, but I just can't. I can't stand the monstrous shit sometimes. Like, there's enough of it. You can ask. There's like when that movie, what was it, Buck Breaking? That was the movie. When
Oh, that was real life.
well, no, but I thought there was a movie where that shit happened in it, or the movie there was like a movie called Buck Breaking or something like that. There's probably a porn called Buck Breaking. Let's be real, but
Okay.
no, not Brokeback, Buck Breaking. That was in a movie. I feel like that was in a movie, and that's why it was like real big for like a minute. I didn't know what that was. Like, I knew the relationship between master and slave was horrendous, right? Murder, whippings, fucking burning alive, all the fucking horrible shit they did. And then my man here, Michael, is like, "Oh, you don't know what buck breaking is? Okay." Every time.
Let me inform you on a little Black history.
Yeah. Every time, like, and then, like, you're like, oh, okay, I'm watching The Watchmen, right? I'm trying to watch The Watchmen show. What's the first thing I get to witness but for a fucking town of black people getting wiped out? And then I'm like, God, that's fucking horrific, man. That could really happen. Good news, Dan. It did all the time. It's like, great. There's something else I didn't know.
Parties with postcards.
Yeah, yeah.
Like fucking photos. It was a photo op. It was Disney World.
Yeah, it's like there's something you didn't know, but guess what? Now that you know it, it's horrible, and live with it.
They used to eat people too. They used to turn them into medicine.
Did they really?
Oh yeah, it gets
Sure.
worse. Every time I got stories, man.
Well, I knew his dentures weren't wooden. You know what I mean?
They would break them down and turn them into medicine.
Jesus Christ. I knew the dentures weren't wooden. You're telling me they went beyond the dentures, right?
And this is like old school medicine where it's just not smart at all. They're just fucking smearing human fat on their face and shit, stuffing pillows with fucking afro hair.
Jesus Christ.
They're fucking going hog wild on the brutality.
Jesus Christ.
Straight up metal.
Oh. See, there again. Shit I didn't know. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Oh, so you're welcome. You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
I already wanted them dead. I don't know what to tell you. It's just more of a reason. God, this episode got fucking
They're so
dark.
savage. And then go do cannibalism at home.
Yeah, they're the savages while they're eating people. They're like in the middle of a fucking long pig steak, and they're like, "Can you believe how savage they are? They shit.
Happy Thanksgiving.
They don't shit on the floor. They go outside in a fucking ditch."
What do you mean you don't rape the planet?
What do you mean that you don't have sex with your cousin's daughter? Savages. You mean you court women outside of your bloodline? Atrocious. Hideous.
Oh man, they look so inbred sometimes too. Oh, so bad.
Yeah. That's fucking terrible. I don't know. I might try to pop up a 5-minute sketch for you guys this week so we can do it next week just for a little bit of lark to open it. Lighten it up after this one. God, it went dark. It's so dark. Fuck.
Oh yeah, sorry. I mean, yeah, that's the gazing at the abyss.
That's right. That's right. I'll lighten it up. I might write something. And I have been in Billy Carter. I always think about you. I gotta find a good. I'm gonna have some little HR Geiger, HR Geiger for you next week.
Oh, always the Geiger.
Always with the Geiger. I got something now. I'm thinking about it. I'm
No
gonna work it.
more.
That's for you, buddy.
Well, it's got everything you like. It's got some sci-fi. It's got some horror. It's got
a little bit of
it's
this
got
voice
penises
right
everywhere.
here.
Penises and vulvas everywhere.
Yeah,
Very
hey,
phallic.
Geiger, could you come
Very
in
weird.
here? I'm Geiger. You're Geiger. Isn't that great? Hey, why do all of your aliens look like vulvas with penises that are penetrating everything? Could you explain that? And secondary note, I know.
But see, they would go at him, and he's an artist, so he would explain that the process of death and birth are they're linked
Geiger, I want to work
in
through
the
this painting.
mythological worship,
I want to
in
work through this.
cultural worship of
I
the
want
other.
to. I want to work through
They'd be
this
like, what?
painting with you. Could you explain what all this red stuff is here? That is my blood.
Yeah, that's blood. That's blood coming from a monster inserting his penis
I
in
was
a mechanical woman.
I was
Well, the penis is really his head, though.
I was popping my pimples and I decided it would be easier if I just took a razor blade to them and then I smeared them all over the painting. Okay. All right, don't do that again on things for the company. Don't do that ever again. And this statue of this looks like four alien figures all being simultaneously penetrating and penetrated by this ominous force in the background. You want to describe that? Yes,
Yeah, that represents human greed and lust
that
in its rawest, most primal form,
I
begging and crying for money. Pay me, pay me,
I was
pay me.
I was sketching a dinner party with my son and he is very tall. So I stretched the painting a little bit and gave it a black shade and then I was like, well, I just paint this. You were at a dinner
Yeah, a
party.
happy little tree turned into a
You were
turned
at
into
a
that.
dinner party where everybody was penetrating everybody and your tall son was there and this is what you came up with. But no, they were eating, but it kind of looked like penetration to me. I think about that a lot, penetration.
A sudden moment, a shudder, a slight feeling in the
And the
air,
and the
and all I saw was penetration. It was glorious,
and the
magnificent.
and the tubes. What are the tubes represent? Why are they all tubed into each other? Could you explain that? Because I have a lot of questions I got to answer with the CEO. Yeah, at home
You love
we
that. That was his. Wasn't that like his like mouth to anus thing that he liked
yeah at home what we like to
his
do is
ATM.
open. See, everybody in my family has a colostomy bag, not because we need it, because we wanted one. And we all opened ourselves up and tied. We took garden hoses and we ran them to each other's colostomy bags. We were all tied together and yeah. So that was how we spent the Swedish holiday that celebrates the fact that the old wolves have been conquered by the Nordic gods. And I wanted to celebrate it by shitting in my wife's colostomy bag. And you put that into the painting.
they've been using shock horror since the beginning.
Yeah.
Fake shock.
No, the alien pictures are actually him cleaning it up, right? That's
And
it's him cooling down. So that's
he takes a picture. It looks nice.
shit. My voice is gone. So that's what you decided to put in the front lobby where the kids come in for the preschool. Why is that a problem? Why, you're very judgy, aren't you? It's not very nice. I'm going to find a different company to work
Real
with.
fucking high.
I wonder if Disney would pick me up. I'm a good artist. I go work for Disney. I
It's
make you.
real fucking high. Real fucking high.
The man's a nightmare.
I'm sorry, what was that? He was real fucking high.
How did he come up with that? He was high. No, but how did he come up with that? I mean, really high.
Really high. That time he was so high.
That one, believe it or not, sober. The other one, though, oh my god, he overcompensated. I mean, he was high. All right. There's a little bit of taste for it for the evening. I'm going to let you guys go. Get your sleepies, get your night times on, get your good time fun. My good time boys, my soldier boys.
It's good to hear from you guys.
Always is. We love you, chat. We love you. Don't
We love
die. Be
you.
safe.
Have fun.
Be good,
Don't die.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll reconvene next week.
Be
We'll have
safe.
more fun then.